And I wanted to shift gears a little bit because I am from the sports atmosphere. I'm from the health and fitness background. That's my industry. That's my business that I run, and it has been absolutely trashed over the last 3 years. And to be quite honest, as a professional athlete growing up in this country, there hasn't ever been much support at the federal level for athletes as much as they like to pretend that there is. And it's not a topic that a lot of people cover because it's not popular, right? But in in my community, it is because, like, when you look at the U.S., as flawed as the U.S. is, there's one thing that brings them together more than anything, and it's sport. Like, you go to a NFL game on a Sunday, it doesn't matter if it's Democrat, Republican, they don't give a shit. They're there to support that team. They're there to scream, chant. They're there to have fun. And it's one thing that I'm very passionate about. The sport brings people together. And I've seen athletes in this country absolutely decimated in terms of help finances from the federal government compared to counterparts like the US. We expect our athletes to perform at a certain level, yet we don't give them the support they need. Like, if you go to the US, they have the Olympic Training Center. Those athletes are making livable wages. And when I say livable, not the bullshit 20,000, 30,000 bucks that our government gives. You can't live off of that. You can't, as a full-time athlete, you can't live off of that. Is there anything that you were willing to do and put into place to help support that industry and bring it up to a point where, it can be a point of national pride? You know what I mean? Because when you go to the US on a Friday night, they're all at the high school football game, right?
Yeah.
And there's a few reasons to go on about that, but one of them is, funding. Those coaches are getting paid. So there's a high degree of urgency and to put into these young men, young women, to develop them, to give them those experiences. But in Canada, that's not here. Can we look forward to something like that from you?
Yes, absolutely. And me personally, I'm a runner. I like to run. I'm running marathon. That's my sport.
Yeah.
Uh, and so sport is important, but also what we must do at the federal level, we are spending a lot of money on policies and things that are not under our jurisdiction. We can save a lot of money. We can save, like I said, $1 billion cutting the UN. We can save $5 billion by cutting foreign aid. We can save between $5 to $10 billion by cutting corporate welfare. So, and our goal is to balance the budget and doing all these reforms. But also, we must reinvest in our own jurisdiction. And I believe that our country, Canada, we have a role to play there. And yes, we must give all the tools that athletes need to be able to compete at the international level, and that must be the case. So, of the position of our party, we will reinvest, for example, in our Canadian forces. That's part of a responsibility. That's the responsibility of the federal government.
Yeah.
Yes, with athletes, we can do the same by cutting all the spending that is not under our jurisdiction that politicians are doing because they want to control a little bit more. They want to buy votes. We won't play that game. So the questions to your answer is yes. We must be proud. We must help our athletes, and they must be an example for younger generations.
And what